What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you guys who are new here or don't know me, my name is Svet. I play the game Rise of Kingdoms, the mobile game for Apple and Android. I've been playing for a little while now, probably a little over a year, and I absolutely love this game. If you guys like this game as well and like seeing other content to learn some tips and tricks on how to do events better, go ahead and like this video, hit the subscribe button. I will be putting out all sorts of content on any event in the game, whether it's prepping for KVK, so pre-KVK events, Ark of Osiris, any of the holiday events. I just had a few Halloween videos come out. Really any event around the holidays or really in the game at all. They do take a little bit of learning, so if you guys want to learn how to play those events faster, get better, as well as build your account faster as well, go ahead, like I said, hit that subscribe button. I will be letting you guys know how I play the game, the kind of little tricks that I use to do these events a little bit better. And then our Ark of Osiris team is great, and I make videos on that every 2 weeks as well. We do have a KVK coming up in probably about a month's time, where I will go over all of my strategies as an individual player, as well as kind of what we're doing in our alliance to make sure that we're getting all the rewards that we want from the pre-KVK and headed into KVK with the buff that we want. For those of you guys that have been through a KVK in the pre-KVK event, the rewards you can get range from extra all attack, all damage bonus to opponents. You can get some gathering buffs, some training buffs. So depending on what you and your alliance want coming into KVK, you can kind of position yourself based on how you guys play the pre-KVK events. So tonight, we are going over this event that is somewhat newer. It's definitely new here in 2020. I think this is my second or third time playing it. It seems to always be tied to some sort of holiday event, but it's called the Protect the Supplies event. This one is connected or attached to the Halloween event. So I'm starting to think that these are only going to be coming out with holiday events and bundles and stuff like that. But this one, if you guys have tried it before, it can be difficult. It requires a lot of moving around on the screen, moving a lot of troops around really quickly. It's very similar to the event that you do with your alliance called the Silk Road, where you transport goods basically, but you've got all your alliance members there. You've got really as many marches as everybody wants. So it can definitely be a little bit easier. Protect the Supplies is all on your own. You don't get any help from alliance members, nothing like that. And like I said, it seems like it's kind of slow, but it is very fast paced. And you got to be moving around on your screen quickly. You've got to be moving your troops around quick. You got to be killing the barbs that are trying to take the supplies out as fast as you can. So just some general info on the event. This just comes from the little info tab here in the event itself. Basically, it's just like Silk Road. So you're going to be transporting supplies that start at a certain point, your city, and go to a village, they call it, which is just another point that spawns once you get started. It could also be a resource point or something like that. But anyways, you're going to be escorting supplies to villagers in need, they say, right? So you can also change the difficulty on this. So we all have to start, it looks like, at level 3. But each time you're adding one of these difficulty points, you're increasing the barbarian difficulty themselves. So the ones that are trying to attack the supplies that you're trying to defeat and protect the supplies from getting hit, it affects those barbarians. So they each have a different buff or talent or skill that they apply to the barbarians. The first one is increased health. So as you toggle that up, you go, so level 3 just off the bat is going to be 60% increased health. So they get pretty strong pretty quick. Like I said, this event is tough. The next one looks like Armed to the Teeth. So that one's going to do increased attack and defense. So they're just throwing all sorts of buffs on these barbs to make it more difficult. So the second one is attack and defense. The third one is amount of troops that you're going to hit when you're going through the event and when you're delivering those supplies. So this one at level 3, just off the bat, is you get 8 additional barbarians that are going to come and try to hit those supplies as you're escorting them. This will be interesting as we get higher. We'll see if we can beat the full difficulty tonight. in my past attempts at this, I've not been able to perfectly deliver the supplies on the full difficulty. So we'll see if we can get there tonight. But this would be a skill that I would think would be very valuable to maybe dial back a little bit. The less barbs you have to fight, the less likely that they get to your supplies before that they are killed. So that's something that we'll consider here a little bit later. The next one is Assembly Charge. So encounter 4 more enraged raider troops. So you're going to get different levels of barbs as you go through the event. The first ones are just going to be the basic ones that come at you. And then these ones are the raiders, enraged raiders. So these ones are a little more difficult. I believe they're green, and whereas the other ones are just white. So we'll see when we get the event started what color they are, but these are going to be like the next level of the barbarians that are coming at you. Then the final skill here is Secret Sabotage. And so this one reduces the defense of your caravan. So again, the goal is to deliver these supplies, and as the caravan gets hit, if it does, the goal is obviously that it doesn't ever get hit. But if it does, it's going to go down in health percentage. So what this one does is just reduce the overall health defense of your caravan. So as it's getting hit, which again, we don't want that to happen, but if it does happen, it's going to start to go down a lot faster in terms of overall health left over than if you were on level 1 or level 0. So we're going to start on level 3, because I do remember last time I beat at least level 3. So I'm going to start there. And as you guys can see as well, the rewards go up as you go up in difficulty. And so just to show some of the rewards here, there's two parts of it. One is just for you. So based on how well you do in the event individually, you get rewards, which are pretty cool. And this is based on how many stars you beat the mission on. So every time I toggle up here, I've got a star that's being added. So if I went to level 3 on every single one of these, it's counting me for 15 stars. So current difficulty is 15 stars. So we go back into quest here and we see they give you the rewards based on how many stars you beat it with. So, you know, 1 if you just beat it as is, which is great, but the rewards are obviously, you know, nothing to brag about. But as you get up here, they get pretty good. So I'm eyeing this gold key on difficulty 8 and that 3-hour speed up. So that's pretty good. In a worst case scenario, you want to try to get those 8. And then it comes all the way up here to the 16, where you're getting some candies for the Halloween event, which are super valuable because you can trade those in for great stuff. And then 2 more gold keys and then 2 3-hour speed ups. So the 10 jack-o'-lanterns here are kind of, you get a bunch of those. Like you could go out and kill barbs for just like a few minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes, and you could get at least 10 pumpkins that you could then turn into jack-o'-lanterns. So not really crazy about those. But the candies you cannot get unless you spend money. So those are pretty valuable as well. And again, those can be traded in for good stuff like stars, the gold stars, and there's some other stuff in the event that you could trade it in for as well. But really here, my biggest concern is just beating it on level 4 down the board. So I want to beat it on level 16 here, make sure I get all 3 of those gold keys, 3 3-hour speed ups. And if I can beat it on 20, great. But I'm really not going to be too upset if I can't get it up to the 20-star difficulty. So those are the rewards for that. I'm going to go ahead and start my first one right now. You get 15 chances a day, so you can go at this all day if you want. You can try different combinations. Like I said, if you wanted it to be a little bit easier, and let's say you were 4 down the board and you needed it to be just a little bit easier, I would start reducing the amount of barbarians or raiders that you have to fight. To me, that would make a lot of sense because you've got 5 marches out there and you can kind of attack these and get them killed before they get to the caravan anyways. But we'll see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and get started. It does cost AP. Oh, and so it gives you this preview, which is pretty cool too. It tells you throughout the journey of the caravan when these raiders are going to show up. So that's kind of nice. At least, you know, I'm not going to remember exactly what's going to happen, but at least I have a pretty good idea of, okay, it starts off, I have 6 to kill, then 6 again, then 3, but then I've got one of these raider chieftains that I got to kill halfway through as well, and then one more raider chieftain at the end as well. So it gives you a little preview, not necessary to memorize or anything like that. They're going to be coming at you for the whole round, so just kind of always want to have your troops in the right place at the right time. So that's pretty much it. It costs 50 AP to start. I did notice as well in the rules, if you fail, if the caravan gets destroyed entirely, they actually refund the AP. So don't be too nervous to try this on a higher difficulty, because at the end of the day, the only thing you will have spent is your time. They'll refund the AP, so that way you don't get penalized for trying and having your caravan destroyed. So that's kind of nice. It is only 50 AP, so it's not too much. You definitely want to do this with natural AP if you are somebody that uses natural AP throughout the day. I'm not. I bank it up, and I spend the gems on AP every day. So for me, doesn't really matter. But if you're using natural AP, definitely this is an event that you want to just use your natural AP for. But again, if you fail, the caravan dies, you get your AP back. So trying a higher difficulty, if you're not sure if you can beat it or not, is not the end of the world. And always go for it, because you want to get that level 16 done where you can get all the rewards that matter in this event. One thing I didn't mention actually is, let me go back to that. So the rewards for the Alliance and or Kingdom. So these are really where they come in. The goal here is to do it on 25 stars and keep it at 100% health. So as you can see, I'm in a kingdom of absolute killers. These people are crazy with this game. Really, really good players, have been playing for a really long time as well. But the rewards in the kingdom are great. So you get 2,000 gems, 20 gold legendary sculptures, which is amazing. 20 hours of training speed up is okay, but the 20 legendary sculptures is amazing. And that's why everybody goes nuts. I'm sure all these people tried many, many, many times to get the level 25 done perfect. Again, I don't know if I'll go there. It may take a lot of time and energy to actually get it done that way. So I'll definitely be going for 16 tonight, and then we'll kind of see how I feel. Maybe go for the higher one. Two more little tips here as well is it helps to be in a place where you can kind of get an idea of where the caravan's going. So as you can see, I ported off territory. I'm normally up here in zone 3, but I actually came down here to a little crevice inside of a river. The reason I do that is because I want to be able to kind of predict, or at least have a good idea of where this caravan's going to go. And now some of you are thinking, okay, well, I could just go directly out here and not follow this river or anything. But there is a decent chance that it actually goes along the river. Now that helps for a couple reasons. One, I have a good idea of where it's going. Two, it does kind of force the game to position these raiders in such a way that should make it a little bit easier to protect the caravan along the route. So that's the reason that I do that. Secondly, you do want to clear any barbs that might be in the area as much as you can. I've already killed some in here, so I'm not going to spend too much time going up here for these. It would take a little bit. Got to refresh the troops. But you do want to clear out your area a little bit. So at least you're getting a good start and not having to deal with extra barbarians in your way, because your troops will probably end up killing them, and then you'll fight them. It'll slow you down. You just don't really want them to be in the way right there. If you do find yourself in a situation where you need to kill a barb, do it ASAP, because you want all 5 of your marches focused on killing the raiders, not random barbarians in the kingdom, right? So the marches I use for this are pretty straightforward. Barb, peacekeeping commander type marches. So I got the Aethelfled Joan. I like having Joan out there because she provides those buffs to surrounding troops. CC Moto, great for fighting barbs. I've got my Boudica, great for fighting barbs. I did all cav on the first 4. Got my Belisarius and Vibers really fast. Got all the cav buffs, so I like him a lot. And then this one's a little bit different, but I used Lohar YSG. The reason I did that is I did want some additional AoE to help me out in the event that I've got raiders all trying to swarm around one area at a time. Again, kind of positioning myself how I did by the river in some good open space. That shouldn't happen. Like, we shouldn't have a bottleneck of these raiders coming in, but I wanted that just in case. YSG also does a ton of damage, as we all know, so he's great to have out there as well. We want these raiders to go down as fast as possible so we can focus on protecting the caravan. All right, so finally, I'm going to go ahead and get this going. Whoops, we don't want that. All right, so I'm starting on the 15. We all have to start at 3, then you can do 4, then you can do 5. So it can take some time to get up to the full reward if you're a bigger account and you want to do that right away. Unfortunately, we can't. We have to start at difficulty 3 on each one, which puts us at 15 stars. All right, so I'm getting started. He had a good spawn. And I'm just going to start moving stuff along the path. I always want to keep one back kind of with him. Being that this is my CC super strong, I'm going to keep him in the back so he can kind of bring up the rear. And if I do, unfortunately, miss anything, his speed and damage should be able to kind of make up for any mistake that I make throughout the route. And so we'll see here. So nothing yet. We'll see. Another thing about this event too, it's very tedious. So this isn't an event you can do and like hang out and kind of chill. You really got to be staring at your screen the whole time, which of course is great. We love the game. So, but this is something where you don't really want to look away too much. So if you've got something to do, or maybe a phone call coming in or whatever it might be, probably don't start this event, and wait until you've got at least 15, 30 minutes or so that you can dedicate to doing this event. And so that's working right now. He's going to follow this river over to my left-hand side, which is great. And you can see the journey's kind of far. Okay, so we got some barbs here. I'm going to go ahead and just be proactive. I'm going to send him there. Aethel fled back down there. And then that should cover me on those angles. And as soon as you kill the raider and your troop is free, you want to get it back into position for wherever these next ones might spawn up. I'm going to continue moving these troops. Definitely don't want to hop in a flag. And again, I'm kind of letting CC bring up the rear here. What I really don't want here is for this little cut in right here where the river bends a little bit. I don't want anything to spawn there and kind of surprise me. So, so far the plan is working for him to follow this river, so I know exactly what's going on. We'll see if that turns into an issue maybe in any of these little bends, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. Okay, there we go. Okay, so they all spawn to my north. So what I'm going to do there is I'm sending my YSG to take that guy out, which is going to work out great because he's about to fire that and then get started on this next guy. And so yeah, they're kind of lengthy events. So like I said, if you've got something to do, don't start this event. And you can see why I'm not too particularly set on trying to beat it on the 25-star difficulty and place in the kingdom, because you could do this for hours to get a perfect score kind of thing. And here we go. So we're going to get a boss here in a minute, I believe. It should be spawning here pretty quick. And so he's about to leave the river bend. That was nice for me in the beginning. It's going to get a little more difficult right now. And so there we go. We got a spawn there. We got one here. And so that was a little easier, I suppose. So I only got one of the bosses there, which was kind of nice, and then just one other raider. So it really wasn't that difficult. I'm sure as we get up in the difficulty, that particular part will be harder, but we'll see. They've got me going across this bridge and then to that stone node. So about halfway there. Okay, we got them spawned. They're coming from the backside. Looks like I've got a third one that I will deal with later as well. And we're going to be able to hold this fine with just Aethelfled and CC here in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and move these over the bridge. And I'm going to let Aethelfled come here and then CC deal with that guy. And so if I were being attacked right now, like these barbarians would be a problem, right? Because you see how they're definitely in the way. It would be really easy to click them instead of a raider. Luckily, we had them come from the backside, so I didn't have to deal with that at all. But in the event that maybe it was time to be attacked again, or I kind of felt like, all right, they're about to spawn, I would be crushing these. But since it's not, I'm not going to. I'm going to let them live another day. It's kind of starting to feel like they might spawn soon. I'm just going to deal with that one. And we are almost there, so it means it's almost time for that boss. We'll see what it looks like. Caravan, still 100%, so we're looking good. And again, like I said, guys, this is a very tedious event because... Oh, it's not that stone. How far are we going here? We still have quite a ways left, actually. Yeah, like I was saying, it's a very tedious event because I'm moving all of these marches individually to make sure that they are positioned in the best spot in the event that some raiders show up. There we go. So this is a decent chunk here. Let's see what we can do. All right, and so that was dealt with okay. Oh, nope, took a hit. What's going on? Ah, he snuck through. He snuck through. So we took 1% damage there. So really got to make sure that you're hitting every single one. When they're coming at you from multiple angles, make sure that you're dispatching one troop per raider, and then you got to go back and check ASAP. Because if you have a troop just sitting there and a raider's walking by, what's going to happen to me will happen to you. Luckily, like I said, I'm not really going for the 100% reward. I'm just trying to beat this on level 16. So, not the end of the world, but it's tricky. You got to really pay attention. You got to really make sure that your troops are doing what you think they're doing, or else they'll surprise you and they'll hit the caravan. And so one thing I'm doing that's helping me kind of keep them in formation, so to speak, is I am using the troop in front to set where I want to be, and then the troops behind, I'm just dragging them on to those troops in front. So it's kind of keeping this nice formation around the supplies, and then the one that's in the middle, CC, I'm just dragging him to the supplies. There we go. Let's see what we got here. There's the boss. Let's go ahead and take you down there. So I got you doing nothing. And then let's take that to the boss. Okay, gonna reset position. Let's see, and he is going to the village. So it looks like it is going to be a village every time. And this should finish it up. So yeah, again, very, very tedious. You really got to pay attention. You got to be staring at the screen the whole time. And you really got to be checking your marches throughout the entire event and the entire journey for the caravan. Otherwise, those raiders can slip through. They're all coming full speed at the caravan. And if you miss one, it's right there at your caravan. So really got to be making sure that as soon as you kill one, if there's another raider right by you, get your troop over to that one ASAP. And I'm going to go ahead. So that's that. So we got that. And then that's pretty much it. And so the rewards are in here. Which again, these first few levels are nothing to get crazy about. But I am excited for the next one. So I'm going to do 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 all the way down. So it's going to be 20. And then I'll get these 2 gold keys and these other 3-hour speed ups. I realize that these are very slow. So what I'm going to do for this next round is just go ahead and speed through it and come back to you guys after I complete it, just to kind of show you, okay, I was able to beat it on level 20. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to go for level 25. We'll see how I feel after this level 20 goes, which I'm pretty confident I'll beat it. We'll see what kind of percentage it comes back on. But they do take a while. So I'll go ahead and speed up now the footage that you guys are watching. That way you don't have to sit here for an hour and watch me do the protective supplies. But again, the main tips here are position your city well. The beginning was very easy on this because the caravans like followed this river, so it was great. Clear any barbs out of the way when you can. If they're not, if they're not in the way and you feel like you just killed the raiders and you're kind of just walking by one barbarian or two, you're fine. But anything in your starting point, or now I know kind of where these are going to spawn, I'll try to clear my path a little bit. Using fast marches through NYSG, so he was kind of helping out as we were going through it. But those are the main pointers, and then really the biggest pointer is just stare at your screen and just continue to attack these raiders until they're gone. Otherwise, they'll sneak through. Your score will go down. If you are competing in your kingdom and you're trying to get first, you are going to have to be all over these things, and your troops are going to have to be positioned perfectly to take them out. One more thing I think I could have done better right there is maybe had my marches a little farther away from the caravan. That way I'm attacking the raiders much farther away than the caravan. So if there is a slip through, I will probably have a chance to fix it rather than that one that happened right there. We were all kind of fighting right around the caravan. The one slipped through for like a second. Boom, the caravan took a 1% hit. So maybe keeping them a little bit farther away. Same formation. I like the formation that I have. 2 up front, 2 on the sides, 1 in the back. But maybe just spread them out a little bit further. So I'll get sped up right now. You guys will watch me do level 20. I'll come and check back in, and we'll see how we're feeling. All right. So that was level 20. As you guys can see, it's definitely more intense. Definitely a higher difficulty level, obviously. But it was just more chaotic. The troops were placed a little bit harder for me to get to in time. I took a couple hits there. I definitely feel like I did better that round on the higher difficulty, but it's still a very hard event. It takes forever. I'm just going to go ahead and take the rewards for the level 16. I'm not going to take a crack at level 25 tonight. Again, like I said, you could be doing this for hours. I think one thing I learned in that last attempt right there was definitely go for the green troops first, because they do not stop marching once you hit them. They go directly for the caravan and don't stop. So go for the green troops first. Place your city at a good spot somewhere around a river. Try to deal with barbarians that are in the way, along the way. But again, very tedious. Just pay a lot of attention and you guys should be fine. Again, if you guys like videos like this about Rise of Kingdoms, and content like this, and you want to see how I play within my alliance, in my account, learn some little tips and tricks along the way, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I will continue to put out content for you guys. Everyone have a good evening, and we'll see you next time.